She was one of the first three in Nottingham to offer a heart, home and help when it was desperately needed.
By fostering Daniel, one of many lonely lost orphans who had no hope until people like her offered it.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity to talk to you about your experience on refugees.
Why and when did you foster Daniel? What were your first feelings when you fostered him?
I fostered Daniel 6 months ago. I was originally looking for somebody under 10 because my little boy is 9 and I wanted that kind of age. Unfortunately, when you go into foster care, what you want and what you get are really two different things because it depends who they've got at the time, what their needs are. And I was the only Muslim with City Council, and so Daniel was 15 at the time and they were desperate because he'd run away from English home. There was nowhere to place him at all, and I took him for that weekend and I was very, very frightened. I have to say I was scared because I knew nothing about him, as they didn't, and they placed this big tall boy in my house and I was absolutely frightened to death. But as I got to know him, he's a lovely boy and I'm fine with him now.
What is your opinion on the government's decision towards the amount of refugees being let into the UK?
Right, first and foremost, I think they have to control that situation simply because when they come to our country here, when they come to the UK, you have to provide a service for them, i.e. housing, benefits and so forth, schooling, and for that reason you can't just let anybody in, first because we haven't got enough houses for them, and secondly because you're providing a service for them, it has to be a holistic service. You can't let them into the country and just provide a little bit of a service. They need interpreters, and it is very, very expensive to allow those people to stay here long term, because it actually is, so therefore they really need to be governing it a lot better than they actually do. If you're an unaccompanied asylum seeker, as Daniel is because he's under 18, they have to let them into the country. They have no choice, they have to. And the majority of them, if they look like they're a child because they're not sure what age they are, they have to go into care like Daniel did because he looked his age. But Daniel's got friends who are under 18, but because they look older, i.e. because they've got facial hair, they've got beards, none of them are actually in care. Most of them are living with adults, males in fact, on their own, and it's absolutely appalling. So although they're providing a service for them, personally I don't think overall it works for a lot of those kids.
How has your life changed since this amazing experience?
Right, firstly, because by profession I'm a teacher, it's changed much better for me because I worked with Daniel on a one-to-one basis as I did for 4 months. So when he actually came to me, he spoke no English at all apart from yes and no. And now he speaks lovely English, really, really, really well. You can actually have a conversation with him and a joke and a laugh. He actually understands the British jokes now. There's so much work to be done with these children. You have to have a lot of patience, a lot of understanding. They don't understand the culture of our country at all. They don't quite understand, in truth, the role of women, because back home, the role of a woman is really cooking and cleaning. So that Daniel's a bit confused to why I have to do so many things and why women are so busy in this country.
Yeah.
So we have to educate him, and that takes a lot of work because sometimes, even though you're talking to him, you're trying to explain things to him, it's very, very difficult for him to absorb what you're saying because he's from, really, in many ways, they're from a different land. It's like if we went to their country, we wouldn't fit in for a long, long, long time. So you have to appreciate that and respect them for their views, really, even if you disagree with them, because you know in time they will come around, but it will take a long time.
Yeah. As you can guess, a lot of people have been inspired by you and they want to follow in your footsteps. How can they get involved?
Well, basically, I would say to any young child who wants to perhaps work with children when they're older, please go and do some voluntary work with kids, because you're allowed to do that at 15. I know you two are both a bit young, but you know, at least think about it and kind of have a plan what you'd like to do. You know, keep it at the back of your mind because it's truly, truly rewarding. There's so much to learn about children, and no two children are the same ever. Even if you're the same age as you two are, you know, you may have things in common, but overall you're two different people, and you have to remember that. If you want to work with refugees, you can. There's loads of, well, we're actually a voluntary group. There's lots and lots of ways you can help if you wanted to do that now. But if you want to think about adoption and fostering for long term, then I would say talk to lots of people who do foster, because the stories are fantastic. Some of them are fantastic, it's not always cool, but overall it is truly the most rewarding job. And I have to finish on that if you give to others, God gives to you. So you put others first, God puts you first, and that's my true belief.
Daniel travelled from Iraq for 50 days in the back of a lorry. He is now very happy and safe in his new home.
Thousands of people are travelling across Europe right now to find a safe place to live, and unfortunately many do not make the trip.
Okay, go. Thank you for letting us speak to you. You really are a remarkable woman and a heroic role model to everybody in the UK.
Oh, thank you so much. But just remember, just because I'm doing it doesn't mean anybody else can't, because we can all unite on this and it would be absolutely amazing. There's just too many kids in care who need loving homes and support, so anybody can be a foster carer.